Welcome back after our brief little interlude. It's June 20th, the 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. I'm your host, Caleb Black. He's your other host, Luke the Big Dog Williams. The mysterious Mighty Max Fury, our in-studio producer, is over yonder.
2, 3, I win.
And you can't have a thumb war with yourself.
Sure I can.
Get out of here, Barracuda. And it is time to talk today in wrestling history. Now, we say today, but really, we try to cover as much history throughout the week as we possibly can. We just don't call it This Week in Wrestling History because we do the This Week in Wrestling segment. I just wanted to clarify, we're not leaving stuff out that's important.
No.
We just call it today, that way the segment sounds different.
What I do is we're the guys recap this week in wrestling, so I just kind of recap. I pick out a few events that I found throughout the week, and we'll report on those.
Like they were on the ground, he just picks them up.
I pick them right up. So let's jump right into that.
Let's get it.
Today I picked out 3. First one is the first and last Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view was this day.
Oh,
okay.
In 2010.
Yeah, I remember the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view. I remember they were doing a lot of concept pay-per-views back then.
Yeah, you had the submission pay-per-view.
They would do like the steel cage pay-per-views.
I think that was called Breaking Point?
Yeah, Breaking Point, something like that. I don't think there was anything wrong, necessarily, with those pay-per-views, but I also think that was a period where writing suffered, because destination pay-per-views don't give you a lot of ways to tell other stories.
And I think that was WWE's answer to the Lockdown pay-per-view. Lockdown pay-per-view became so popular because of the cage matches.
That was my favorite TNA pay-per-view, still is.
Yeah, they had to come up with something that's like, well, if you can do that, we can elevate that.
Yeah, your destination pay-per-views.
Clash of the Champions.
Yeah. What else you got for us, Max?
On the 19th of 2002...
That would have been yesterday,
June,
18 years ago.
TNA debuted.
That's right. TNA debuted in the Nashville Asylum.
Yes.
I love the old days of TNA. There's really only like a few people who really know as much about the TNA history.
I remember watching that with you.
Yeah. I loved...
Was a 99-cent pay-per-view.
Yeah, and they did them weekly. You could buy them on pay-per-view through your cable provider, and it gave you like 2 hours of the program, 2 to 3, whatever it was.
Right. I'll give you a quick rundown. You crowned the first X Division champion, which was AJ Styles.
No!
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat reffed it.
I thought...
Yeah.
Was
that
it
happened?
AJ?
Yes.
I thought it was Jerry Lynn for some reason.
AJ beat Jerry Lynn.
I thought it was a triple threat match. It was low-key AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn.
Pretty sure it was AJ Styles that won that. I could be wrong.
Let me look that up real quick.
Anyway,
bumps
the main event, Ken Shamrock captured the
NWA World Heavyweight Championship. He beat, in the finals, it was like they started with a battle royal, and it came down to the last 2 guys, and if I'm not mistaken, Ken Shamrock beat Ron Killings.
Yes.
If I'm not...
Because the Truth ended up beating him eventually for the
NWA Championship, and I believe that made him, the first black NWA World Champion?
No. Would have been the second. Technically, the first NWA African-American heavyweight champion was Ron Simmons.
That's right. And yes, you are correct. AJ Styles did defeat Loki and Jerry Lynn and Psychosis. Actually, it was a Fatal 4-Way elimination match. 4-way double elimination match. I totally forgot that.
I forgot Psychosis
was in that match.
The first Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was the referee.
Yes.
So it was kind of trying to capitalize on the old school and the new school.
They featured a lot of legends on that show as well. Dusty Rhodes was there. I don't remember if Piper was on that one particularly.
He wasn't on that one, but a couple weeks later he came out and cut a promo on Vince Russo.
Yeah, there were several.
Over Owen.
There were several legends and several in the early days of TNA who came through. Again, TNA used to be such a great, just a fun alternative product.
Yeah, and 99 cents, amazing. You couldn't beat it.
What else you got for us, Mighty Max?
For my last one here, we're going to jump to Monday, June 22nd.
Okay.
In 1998.
Okay.
I find this very relevant because he just had a big loss to Randy Orton.
He did. He did have a devastating...
The debut of Edge.
I remember when Edge made his debut, and actually there's a DVD, I think it was in the Decade of Decadence, where Edge reviewed his first match. You know what the takeaway, Edge's biggest takeaway from that match was? He wasn't wearing wrist tape.
Yes. Well, I mean, that was his first televised match. His first match of record was a dark segment where he was Rex Sexton.
Yep.
And he wrestled Christian.
No,
wrong. He wrestled Sean Morley.
Yeah. He brought Christian
Sean Morley.
A little while later, but they broke in relatively around the same time. Yeah, man, Edge started his career, and it ended Sunday.
Well, he started his career,
took a devastating punt kick to the head from Randy Orton, which gave Caleb the lead.
I can't wait till I get a lead. But he won. He started his career with a win, but also an injury during the match. Jose Estrada went out with a neck injury.
Jose Estrada's career, and it's
no one at fault.
Yeah, no. He had it was just a miscommunication, and Jose Estrada was older anyway and had some neck problems beforehand, and it was just like it was the straw that broke the camel's back, proverbially.
Okay, now that covers the events I picked out. I want to run over some birthdays.
Hey, birthday shout-outs. Who's getting older?
Today, this week, so on. We've got, actually today, Coco Beware's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Birdman.
I wonder how old this Frankie is.
Frankie!
We've got coming up this week, on the 22nd, Earthquake.
Happy birthday to the big man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
On the 23rd, be Billy Kay.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday, Billy Kay.
Stop with the lip injections.
Iconic.
On the 25th, we have Layla.
Okay.
Layla
from Michelle McCool and Layla.
Yeah.
Layla L.
Well, happy birthday, Layla.
And then also on the 25th would be Mark Jindrak.
Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday to the guy who couldn't be Batista.
Yep.
I'm giving that one. And then
we didn't get his Mania match either.
Did not.
And then I hate to do it, but I have to go over a couple
passings of note.
Passings. Yeah. Biff Bagwell's passing was the 24th in 2004.
Biff Bagwell?
I'm sorry, Biff Wellington.
Biff Wellington. I was like, Buff Bagwell didn't die. No one told me.
That even sounded wrong as I said it.
I unintentionally did the wrong name gimmick that we brought up.
Okay,
I should have just kept that. I just kept it. I ran with it.
Okay, to be fair, to bring it down a little bit. Hold on, to bring it down a little bit, everyone should like a good Beef Wellington.
Agreed.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Beef Wellington. Biff Wellington.
Oh, yeah.
Big Bad Vader.
Oh, 2 years. 2 years, the passing of Big Bad Vader.
Everybody came for the Vader bomb.
That'll be on the 8th. That was actually on the 18th, a couple days ago.
Rest in peace.
And then the one we're all dreading.
Oh, man.
Nancy Benoit.
Yep.
How many years has that been?
That was
13.
In 2007.
13 years.
It's been 13.
I remember
as of the 22nd.
I remember so clearly the Monday Night Raw that followed the ECW pay-per-view.
The one that doesn't exist.
The one that doesn't exist. I remember it so clearly.
Ended one of the hottest angles at the time with the Vince McMahon.
Yeah, Vince McMahon's limousine exploded the previous week, and Chris Benoit was booked to wrestle CM Punk for the ECW Championship.
And how eerie is it that week was supposed to be the quote-unquote funeral
of Vince McMahon. And Vince opened the show. The arena was empty. There wasn't a person.
They sent everyone home.
They sent everybody home. And Vince himself appeared in the show, and he very directly, this week we were supposed to do a storyline determining, why I was in this accident. But the reality of the situation is that one of the WWE superstars, Chris Benoit's dead. And he said it just like that directly. He said, we'll stay with the family. We'll have more information as it comes. And then they did a tribute show.
Yes. I think the one thing that stands out to me the most, I'm not putting Chris over
we're just talking about
the same, is the thing that sticks with me the most, and I'm getting chills as I think about it, was William Regal's confessional during the show where he said that I believe that things aren't what they appear, and that he had a gut feeling that something had happened, and this, that, and the other, and then of course the tragedy, I'm not going to go there, but the tragedy happened, and he was right.
Yeah, it was such an awful. And Nancy Benoit, people.
Having that been said, I would like to remind that while you probably won't find it on very many sites, it is also Chris Benoit's passing.
Yeah.
And Daniel Benoit.
Don't forget about the child.
And
yes.
For those of you who don't know a lot about Nancy Benoit, she worked as a personality named Woman.
Yes.
I highly recommend doing some research and seeing her because she was a brilliant performer.
I believe she wrestled under something like the Dark Angel before that.
Yeah, something
with
like
Sullivan.
that. Yeah. Do yourself a favor. Forget the tragedy exists for just a second. Go back and revisit just her stuff because she was great.
WCW, her and Miss Elizabeth were Ric Flair's valets at one point.
Yeah.
The stuff she did with Chris and Kevin Sullivan on television, and then bringing in Jacqueline. I don't remember if they called her Jacqueline back then or what it was, but that was classic.
Yeah.
She was a hell of a worker. It's the stuff she did with the Sandman and ECW.
Yeah.
There's content out there, folks.
Give it a look.
Give it a look. She was really good at what she
was phenomenal. That's going to close us up for today in wrestling history. What do you guys think about our wrestling history points? What do you think about Edge's debut?
Thank you, Mighty Max.
Don't forget to wish everybody a happy birthday. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown. Send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below, and stay tuned for the classic callback.